S.S.S. Toldos, Tov Shin Pei, and here we go, year number 11. We began this year, Parshas Toldos, 10 years ago, year 2009, and here we are in 2019, beginning our 11th year. And we did not get one day older, right, in those 10 years. So we're beginning to, this week we begin our second decade of Shiurim, and Amir Tashem next Thursday night at 9 p.m. here at Bikur Cholam, we will have a nice l'chaim, a tayameh, to celebrate our decade of 500 straight weeks of giving this Nesivos Shalom Shir. And over the past 10 years, when learning Parshas Toldos, we've talked about quite a number of times the fascinating episode in the Torah, in this week's Parsha, of the brachos that Yitzchak Avinu gave to Yaakov and Esav. And of course, it is very complicated, to say the least. And we certainly cannot just read the words in the Chumash, read the words in the Torah, and take them at face value. It's mind-boggling to try to understand what was transpiring over here between Yitzchak and Yaakov and Esav and all the different equations that were happening. The Nesivos Shalom brings from the Sefer Be'er Mayim Chayim Be'er Mayim Chayim says that we need to understand that, of course, Yitzchak Avinu understood that Yaakov was a lot greater than Esav. It's pashut that Yitzchak understood that. Just to think that Yitzchak was like in some kind of fog and he had no idea what was going on in the lives of Esav and of Yaakov, we really can't say that. He knew very well that Yaakov was a lot greater than Esav because it was very plain to see, and everybody knew that. However, Yitzchak Avinu felt, says the Sefer Be'er Mayim Chayim, Yitzchak Avinu felt that if Esav was born into their family, that Esav was born to parents such as Yitzchak and Rivka, then Esav had to be born for a purpose. He had to have a very serious purpose in his life. And Yitzchak Avinu felt that the reason for Esav, it must be, Esav was here so that Yaakov would be able to be Osek B'Torah. Yaakov would be able to do what he has to do in his life, and Esav would be, as the Torah says, the Ish Tzayid. He would be the one who goes out and hunts. He would be the one who goes out to provide for Yaakov's needs. And that was the purpose of Esav, and that was Yitzchak's thought process, that Yitzchak knew that Esav was here for a reason, and he was here for an important reason. And we know that Yaakov Avinu represented Limud Torah, Midah Tiferes, everything mixed together. Yaakov Avinu represented Olam Haba. So Esav was here to serve that purpose of Yaakov Avinu. And with that, we could really understand something else that is a little bit tough to understand in this parsha over here, is why Yitzchak was asking Esav for food at all. It comes time to give the brachos, and Yitzchak starts asking Esav for food. Now, was Yitzchak Avinu really missing anything? He needed something. He needed to ask Esav to go bring him some good food. Can you cook me up something really good? Something that doesn't make sense over here. The Medrash tells us that the people of the world, the lay people of the world, would say that they'd rather have from the inferior crop of Yitzchak Avinu, where Yitzchak Avinu, he had so much, and it was so plentiful, and it was of such high quality, that the people of the world would say that they'd rather have from the inferior crop of Yitzchak than the silver and gold of Avimelech. Amazing. So Yitzchak Avinu needed something. Yitzchak Avinu had everything he needed. He could have just asked one of his servants to bring it over to him. Why was Yitzchak Avinu asking Esav to bring him something? Yitzchak did not need to be supplied with food. And the answer is that Yitzchak felt that he was being Mekayim right now by sending Esav to go get something, by sending Esav to go out and hunt and go bring something, he was being Mekayim what Esav's purpose was in this world. What Esav was supposed to be doing. Esav was supposed to be the Machzik Torah. He was supposed to be the person that would support Torah and uphold and support Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov would sit and learn, and Esav would support. And Yitzchak Avinu, at this point of his life, was telling Esav, this is your purpose. Go out and hunt. Go bring things back to us. So Yitzchak wanted to bless Esav first. He wanted to give Esav the bracha that what? That Esav should be matzliach in his business. That Esav should have a lot. He should have a lot of money. He should be a successful businessman. He should be successful in what he needs to do. So Yitzchak wanted to give Esav that bracha. Why? So Esav should be successful, and Yaakov would get the bracha to be zoichet to olam haba, and everything would fit right into the equation. The whole puzzle, all the pieces would fit right in. And the bracha that was given to the person who Yitzchak thought was Esav, what was that? That was the bracha of V'yitain lecha ha'alekim. That was the bracha right after Shishi in the Parsha. That was the bracha that was given to the person that Yitzchak Avinu thought was Esav. That he should have mitala shamayim umishmanei haaretz. He should have all the good gashnias of the world. He should have hatzlacha in gashnias in order to take care of Yaakov. Because that was the purpose of Esav. And that's the mahalach, that a beautiful mahalach to go to try to understand what was transpiring over here in the Parsha. And that is how Esav would come close to Hashem. That was Esav's purpose, and that is how he would come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by doing his job. That was Esav's job. That's what you were born for. That's what you were born to do. Whether we think it's positive or negative, but here, Esav, you do your job. And the Nesivos Shalom asks, though, on this, why did Yitzchak have to say, Havei gevir la'achecha v'yishtachvu lecha b'nei imecha? I understand if you want to give Esav, like we said, the gashmis of the world, successful businessman, have all the money, have the means to provide for Yaakov. But why did he have to tell him that he would lord over his brother? Why? I mean, why did he want to tell Esav that Yaakov Avinu should be subordinate to Esav? That has to be also, I understand Esav, you're going to be rich. You're going to have all the natural resources. You're going to have all the hatzlach in business. But that Yaakov should be subordinated by Esav. Yaakov should be under Esav. Nesivos Shalom tells us the answer to that is that Yitzchak Avinu knew that Avraham Avinu was told at the bris bein abisarim that Yodoya Teida Ki Ger Yeh Zaracha Be'eretz Lo Elohem. Just know that your children will be in Golus. They will be forced to live in a land outside of Eretz Yisrael that does not belong to them. And that pasuk, Chazal tell us, is a remez to all the Goyos, including the Golus that we're in right now. And Yitzchak Avinu felt that if Klal Yisrael would have to go into Golus, you know what? Let it be under Esav. Because after everything is said and done, Esav is still the brother of Yaakov. And Yitzchak felt that a brother will treat Yaakov better than anyone else. But what Yitzchak did not know the extent, really, of the riches of Esav. And take a look how we were persecuted through the generations by Esav, by the children of Esav. Yitzchak thought that we should work under Esav because Esav would be better. But what Yitzchak didn't see at that point was the riches and just how bad, just how terrible they actually were. How bad Esav was and how bad his children would be. And Yitzchak told Esav, when he told him to go out and to hunt and to bring back food for himself, Yitzchak told who he thought. He told him, "Ve'ata now, Esav, son, no, kelicha v'kashtecha, take your kelecha, telicha v'kashtecha, go out and take your equipment, go out and hunt. You know what Yitzchak says in Nesivos Shalom? He was telling Esav, he told him, Ve'ata. I understand, Esav, you're the type of person, you're going to go out and hunt, you're going to be a murderer, you're going to be somebody that is going to have to go out and hunt animals. He told him, Va'ata, you know what? Lift up the deck that you've been dealt. This is your purpose in life, that you have to hunt. You're not going to be a Ben Torah, but this is your person. Ve'ata sana, lift up what the attributes, lift up your talents, lift up your things, and try as much as you can to use it for Avodas Hashem. And the Nesivos Shalom tells us that this is really a lesson for every single one of us. Each and every one of us can learn this lesson. The lesson that Yitzchak told Esav, and we need to do as Yitzchak told Esav. In other words, use what you've been dealt in your life. Sometimes people are dealt and they have things or shortcomings or midos or different things that we might perceive as being negative. And every person has their own traits, their own personalities, their own midos. But the goal in your life, the goal in every person's life needs to be to use your tools to become a better person. You have your tools. You have your tafkid in life. And guess what? They have nothing to do with anything that anyone else has. Your tafkid, your purpose, your talents, your traits, the midos, the things that you have nothing to do with anyone else. Don't compare yourself to anyone else because they have their set of midos. They have their set of challenges. You need to take your God-given talents. You need to take the things that you've been given. Some things might even be negative traits, but you need to work on them, not anybody else. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. You need to take those. Hashem created every single person to be unique. There aren't two people ever in the history of the world that are exactly alike. Every single person throughout history and from here until Mashiach comes, every person was created extremely unique with their set of circumstances, their set of talents, and their midos. And we need to take, in order to reach your goal, you've been given your things, and you have to concentrate on that. You can do good with everything that you've been given, and you can grow even from midos that are perceived to the world as being negative. And that's what Yitzchak was telling Esav. Ve'ata sana, lift up your things, lift up what you have, and take those midos and go forward. And that's just a little bit understanding to try to untangle some of the aura, some of the confusion around the brachas. A beautiful mahalach of the Nesivos Shalom. Use your talent. Use what you've been given. Don't worry about everybody else.